Hey, the two-wheel drive class is coming up, guys, and it is something to get excited about. Let's start up here at the motor. Maximum 575 cubic inches, only 2 valves per cylinder allowed, and it has to be on an 8-cylinder block. These things will run great. Now, if you move to the back, the tires are another big consideration. They can only have a maximum of 143-inch diameter, actually circumference, on an 18-inch wheel at 28 pounds per square inch. But what do the fans like about these things? Forget all those numbers. They love the noise, and they love the wheelies. Look for these things to do great wheel stands in the two-wheel drive class.
And it's amazing the kind of wheel stands they do, considering some of them have as much as 4,000 pounds on the front end.
Yeah.
With an exhibition drag racing wheel stand, you put the motor in the back to get it to pop wheelies. This is exactly the opposite. 3 competitors will advance to a pull-up exactly like we did in the unlimited class. And this is Doug Theobald, a little Willys truck out of Shelbyville, Indiana.
Well, I like these things, Dante. I really do.
This is a little 54 Willys pickup with the Fontana or the old Arius motors.
Yep.
As they're known, 1471 high helix little field blower on it.
Wicked Willie.
Wicked Willie, great name. Great name.
1991 Pro National two-wheel drive truck champion. Now let's watch the hooking process here. They do it
Like a train, back up and get it hooked.
with a great amount of safety. The driver has
Yes,
his
they
hands
do.
in the air when it's hooked. That's the, for
Ooh.
lack of a better, it's a safety switch.
Kill switch.
Exactly. Dead man switch is
Right.
what most of them call it. But if the truck should get away from the slide, that kills the electrics, kills the motor.
Well, his average pull distance last year was 289.9 feet out of 8 out of 13 hooks. He's had 2 full pulls. He's 1 out of 1 this year. He's 14th in the point standings right now.
Well, he's had some good experience right now. We're going to see this little old yellow truck and get on down this road right here. Oh, man. Raining a little bit, track wet. What does that do to it, guys?
It's not right. Right now, it's not
not
gonna
good.
affect it too much.
Very nice. Good flow.
Not bad.
Very
Clean
good.
run.
Very, very good for that particular truck. There's some maybe stronger trucks with more horsepower, more torque, but for the Wild Willie, that was just an excellent pull. And your question about the rain, Dusty, it's a little like a drag race.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything good for it, and it gets so slick that you'd over-rev these engines and blow them to bits, put some blowers on the moon. But right now, so far, it isn't that wet.
Hopefully it'll stay that way. You see him get a little bit lazy here off the line. He doesn't get his momentum going. That sled is starting to catch up to him a little bit. He doesn't quite get the wheels up in the air and get his weight transferred quick enough. And as the end, he runs out of room here and just no more power.
Yeah, he was deep in the pit the whole way, brother.
Yeah, it was a dogfight from the get-go, but he'll do better. He'll have better days.
Yes, he will.
He'll do better days.
Well, he's not out of the pull-off. Let's go down to Dave Burns.
Well, Doug Theobald is the first two-wheel drive driver to take to the track here. What do you think? Conditions?
Really not too bad. We had to compensate a little bit with the front end weight. Probably maybe should have dropped the gear down, loaded the motor a little bit too much, but we've been having some problems with the oiling system in our motor. Don't really want to take a chance on dropping and coming back tonight. Better go back and look at the computer and make sure everything's okay.
All right, a safe run, guys, and like you said, not bad.
No, not bad at all.
No. All right, we got a whole bunch of two-wheel drive trucks still to come. Can they top that mark? You'll find out. We'll find out when we come back to Tomah, Wisconsin. Our truck class continues. The rain has abated. Nothing coming down now, much to the relief of everybody. And what an interesting kind of hot rod truck this is. A 1914 Chevrolet H Roadster Roland Bar from Georgetown, Ohio.
I had a little 23T Roadster that looked like that. It wasn't quite as long in the back, but it looked kind of like that.
Didn't have that kind of power either.
No, not quite at all.
All right, now our first puller.
That was Doug Theobald. He had the choice.
Yeah.
And he decided to take his pull, and with 289 feet, I think it was.
Yeah,
so
he
he's going to
stood
keep
on
that
it.
pull.
He stayed right there.
I don't think he was comfortable with the setup, so I think he's going to see what happens now with the track conditions as they are, and the rain, the inclement rain that looks like it's coming in here.
This is the 1914 Roadster right here. Anybody that really takes a hard look that was born in 1914, they can get a look. I think John was, but he's the only one that recognized that, and I brought it to your attention.
That's a nice looking piece.
And this is called the Midnight Mistress. I bet there's a story there.
I don't want to hear it. I'm away.
See the hook?
Here's the hooking process again.
Is that all that's on you? I mean, between the two of you guys, I mean, you know, him with his girls and you with your thoughts. I can't take this.
Hey, speaking of girls, this young man's
You were
wife.
the angel of the NFL, I remember.
Hey, let me tell you something. You talk about backing. His wife, Fonda, she backs him. I'll tell you what happened in a little when this thing is over. Let me get some on top. Give it a run, baby.
Ooh.
Well, that turned out better than I thought. I thought he was going to lose at about the 250-foot mark.
Had a very hard start, but made up for it in the finish.
Yeah, I guess he just made some power down here at the end and just drug it right through.
You know, a point I really want to make here.
Make it.
To folks at home. The driver is a huge part of the success of one of these vehicles.
Absolutely.
You cannot just put the hammer down. You've got to squeeze into it, and you've got to feel that point where that sled wants you to put everything you've got to it. And it's just something you have to feel. There's no tack that can tell you that. There's no gauge that can tell you that. Just only experience in the seat of your pants.
That's what makes this the best. I'm telling you, if you don't like this pulling, you need to go somewhere else. I guarantee you. Getting ready. Some dream team contenders out here tonight as we go for the big finals.
Well, I like the phrase, hear the power and feel the noise. Let's go down to David.
Well, and Roland Barr is getting just unstrapped here. And Roland, we were talking a little bit about the driver being very important here. How much driving did you have to do on that one?
Not as much as I should have had. I had the front end a little heavy. I should have had to work harder at it. I think front end a little bit lighter would have been a lot nicer run. But under the circumstances, it didn't feel that awful bad.
And you're just out here for fun anyway, right?
Yeah, we sure are. And we are tickled to death to be on live TV. And we really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
A sincere comment from a great puller, Roland Barr.
Well, he sure is. That was a great job.
I like that.
Absolutely. In fact, he now leads the class at 289.7 feet. We got a bunch more to go. The wheelies will continue. TNN Motors back live in Tomah, Wisconsin. Now it's time for our Maalox moment. Maalox for heartburn or acid indigestion. Count on 1 minute Maalox. And who should have the Maalox moment so far this evening in the early going? Well, certainly not the Dream Girls and all the nice young men that are getting to steal Dusty's ladies. Here it is.
Country girl.
For Rodland Knox, the defending champion, hoping to make at least the pull-up, and suddenly that tractor hooked to the right, and that was Rodland's Maalox moment.
Maalox moment.
Look at that.
Almost a shot.
Whoa.
But you know they're going to be back. They're champions last year, and they're going to be in the running this year. That's a great team. That's a great team.
Waiting to pull. Let's go to David Burns. Dave?
Where's David?
Where's David?
You know, Steve Evans, there's a lot of things you'd give up when you were having your 50th wedding anniversary to go to, but a tractor pull, well, only a certain brave and hardy few. Now, Howard and Margaret Zastapol are giving up their 50th anniversary celebration today to come here, but they haven't made it here yet. We've got the family all here. Oh, Elvis is in the building. They're on their way. They're running at this moment. But anyway, Carol is the daughter and Jennifer is the granddaughter. And their grandparents are actually going to celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary here and postpone the celebration until next Saturday, July 4th. Steve, I guess I got to ask the question. I don't know if you'd be that brave, but we'll ask Carol. Are your parents just normally just kind of zany and, you know, go-getters and things like that?
My parents are the greatest. They like to party. They like to have a good time. They're real involved with tractor pull. They've been involved with it from the very first pull, and here they are.
Oh, yeah.
They made it. And
Get up there.
we wish you a very happy 50th anniversary. Is this a great place to spend it?
It sure is. The best.
Howie, what about it? Do you love it here at the Tomah Tractor Pull?
Ben Tendon Bar here with the Lions. We love it.
He's what?
Every year.
All right, guys. Beer Tractor Pulls, Wisconsin. This is the place to be.
Dream team contenders maybe right there.
I
like
are
that.
The captains of your team. Those are fans now,
man,
buddy.
I'm telling
Imagine 50 years. I went 50 months.
you. 50 minutes without what?
That was before Sandy in 20 wonderful years.
There you go. There's David Lamar, from Holland, Michigan.
You know, Dave Lamar has a whole lot of experience in the dirt track Cadillac.
1930
In
Chevrolet
fact,
Roadster.
you know, Dave is kind of a throwback to the early days of racing. He still runs the old metal, an iron Chevy block.
Yep.
In fact, everything about his pulling operation is right out of the 50s.
And like Dante said, 1930.
Dave Lamar is a true hot rodder at heart. Once he fires up his 37 pickup, he's instantly transformed back in time, destined to cruise the boulevard in search of the ultimate cheeseburger and heroes from his past.
Hi, welcome to Rockin' Robins. What can I get for you?
I've heard your cheeseburgers are good.
Oh, they're great. You want one?
Sure.
Okay.
You want a cheeseburger? Yeah, he'll have a cheeseburger.
He does?
Yep.
Okay. I'll be right back with that for you, too.
Okay, thank you. Hey, those cheeseburgers don't taste all right.
Yes, they are.
You know, Elvis, I was thinking, what do we got to do about Tomah?
Well, Dave, it's like I told you. Tomah's just like Vegas. If you're going to be a star, you have to lay it all out on the table.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey, Dave, that's my line.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. Dave Lamar right now just waiting for a signal to hook up to the sled with this cast iron 572 cubic inch Chevy engine.
You know, he's had a problem being underpowered compared to the rest of the competition, but he kind of says you have to be more accurate with balance and driving to put the power to the ground, just like hunting. He said you can kill a bear with a 300 Weatherby Magnum, but you can also do the job with a 30-06. You just have to be more accurate. So I like his style.
Me too. Marcia, his wife, started up the motor and disappeared to root for her man.
That's a good-looking rig, isn't it?
He's got to go better than 289 feet.
You know, I guarantee it.
There he is.
Yeah, that
Hammer boy.
That man is really closing in on a dream team. Maybe right there. That's the Hammer right there. Get ready to lay it down. Hey, Steve, excuse me. You talked about his wife a while ago. I'm going to lay this on you. I say, what do you do to relax from this mess? She say, I've just taken up horseback riding. So, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
So she has her hobbies.
Yeah.
All right, here comes the hook. At the end of the year, the NTPA has an annual award called the Hooker of the Year for the competitor in any class that has made the most pulls down their courses at national or state levels. I love this little hot rod.
Good looking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's about middle of the road as far as the competition is concerned, if you were to rate it.
Go, boom. Pull it.
Pretty nice pull.
And you could really hear when he laid into it, man.
Yeah.
He pedaled it out. He waited, and then just nailed that big Chevy.
He had that old iron block humming that time. That sounded good, didn't it? Nice and crisp.
Yep. The blower spinning.
Got it up on top right here in the middle, too, and brought it home. Real nice pull, guys.
That's a great pull. Here we go again, the replay. Seeing how he easily starts it out, gets the sled going. See those butterflies that are kind of a quarter of the way open there, and then all of a sudden, about quarter track, he nails it. Right now, I think he's in second place.
Yep, that'll put him in second place.
Yeah, great.
Behind Roland Barr.
That's a pretty straight pull. I mean, he's drifted a little bit to the right there again.
And that's a driver that is riding those brakes with his left and his right foot, man. When he can't steer with the wheel, you do it with your tootsies, Dave Burns.
All right, and Dave, we were looking at that as a pretty close to perfect run. Is that the way you'd characterize it?
I had to grab a little brake and wanted to suck me to the right-hand side. And that hurt me. It probably took a couple foot off the end.
You know, Dave, we've already had sort of a discussion about Elvis here in the facility here tonight. So was that his fault or was it his help that kept you on line?
Well, the track was trying to get everybody that way earlier. So I think Elvis kept me this way.
And that way is in the stands, folks. And Elvis keeping him on track. Dave Lamar, a pretty good pull.
So he misses by only a foot of taking over the lead from Roland Barr. Now watch the Hammer.
Look at him. Look at him. He loves
He's
it.
using that belly a little bit to help stop that sled.
He loves it. Look at him. He absolutely loves this.
Yeah. Oh, baby, he was hot. Shannon Leister, a young man, just 17, will be up next in the two-wheel drive class. Stay with us, folks. It's a lot of fun here in Tomah.
Absolutely. What else would it be?
Weather starting to look a little more promising. Seems to be moving off to the east. Some blue sky, still hot and a little bit humid here in Tomah, but it didn't keep the crowd down, did it? Bunch of people.
Great crowd. Absolutely good.
Well, gang, you know, I think hopefully, maybe we don't need this 10 anymore.
we don't need this.
Huh? You want to take this baby down or
Dig
not?
it down.
No, I'm looking over there. I'd like to leave it up, if you don't mind.
It's coming in, isn't it?
You two fight it out. You two fight it out. We got another two-wheel drive truck getting ready back in the wings. What you're hearing in the background is there's a second track here, and the crowd, as we're waiting for our trucks, is not just sitting here idly. They've got other classes, particularly the big diesel tractors that they like a whole lot.
You know what, Steve? You know why Dante likes this? Because he's used to playing in the Astrodome.
That's right.
That's why he wants it on top.
Dave Burns, what are you playing in, boy?
Well, down here in the mud with the Dirt Slinger and the Dirt Slinger's father, this would be Bill Leichner. He's getting ready to watch his son Shannon take off. And when you talk to Bill before the 98 season, a lot of what you hear wasn't what Bill was planning on, but the excitement that he had for Shannon running this year. How proud are you of how he's done after just a few events so far?
Oh, real proud. He's won a pole, a couple of them. The first time he ever got in a seat, he won, and it kind of spoiled him, but he does real well. Real proud of him.
So what are you going to tell him the first time he loses bad?
Yeah, try harder. It's tough competition. There's nothing to be ashamed of last place among this bunch.
Now, Bill, how far do you want to see Shannon go? Now, you've obviously gone to the unlimited class. He's in the two-wheel drive. Where do you want to see him end up?
I'd like to see him take the lead by 5 or 6 feet.
Okay, and what about after this year? Do you want to see him move on to other classes and just stay in pulling?
Oh, he's driving the mod some, and we're going to see what happens with rules and turbines and motors and just try to get up there and hunt in the unlimited somehow.
Guys, I guess size matters.
Ha! You know, I said that Shannon was 17. I'm wrong. He's 24. There is a 17-year-old lad still to come. And this is the Willys Dirt Slinger out of Weldon, Illinois.
That's a good-looking little piece.
Yeah, real beautiful machine right here. This young man got to be excited about so many people here. The place is packed. Beautiful night here in Wisconsin.
You know, a couple of times in these graphics, you've seen that 1471 high helix blower.
Right.
That is the most potent roots-type supercharger in the world. In fact, so potent that a number of the NHRA classes are not even allowed to run it. The top-load racer because would go too fast. Make way too much power with a high helix blower.
A lot of power with the helix blower. He's currently second in the point standing right now.
You know, I love about this class is you can express yourself. You want to have a Willys, you want to have a Model T, you want a late model Chevy, Ford, Dodge, doesn't matter.
I like the eyes in the front of that Jeep. It kind of reminds me of our producer's eyes.
When?
Every night.
Directors, too.
Yeah, the director, too.
I love the guys in the truck, personally.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Suck up.
I'm spending their money foolishly. That's all I can tell you.
Going to get a hookup right here now. Boy, anticipating something like this, adrenaline got to be flowing in this young man's body and his heart. Getting everything right, making sure you stay down the middle, getting the right pull, getting on top. Big time going on right here. I tell you, this is tremendous pulling here.
I think he's going to go the distance. Let's see. Well, he might have got one of his little
toes. Smooth run.
Great pull.
Yeah.
Great pull.
That
and he
sounded good.
He gave it a little more power early on than some of the other guys. Maybe that was the right thing to do.
I'll tell you what, though, he might be right up on that. He might have took over the lead here, Dante. You know what I'm talking about?
Have. He's definitely
close. He might have pulled that thing right.
He's got to be 289.7 feet.
That's it.
I believe he's close to 300. Maybe not, but whoa.
Well, you're right, Dusty.
292.9.
Man, that was a nice pull.
That's a real good pull. That puts
Shannon going with it.
Here goes. He's starting off real easy. Gets that sled motoring. Gets it up in the tire. Keeps it nice, good, positive angle. Look at the tires bounce there.
And look how they wrinkle up. That's exactly what they should do.
Yeah.
Exactly, Dante, like your old top fuel tires. They've got to wrinkle like that.
Absolutely. He's digging in. Got some good track. I love the looks of those eyes. Front wheels up. Nice straight run. Good run.
Nice job.
That's a young man with a future. That's a young man with a little future in this sport. Another shot of the sled. Mr. Lucky, I guess, I wonder, too bad we didn't have a shot on Jimmy the Hammer that time. I bet he was disappointed. I bet he's crying. Want to bet?
Balling like a baby.
If he 8-5, he's got tears all over his sled.
Tears of joy.
Tears of joy.
Well, you were talking about the Hammer. There he is.
He's crying. I see a tear. I see a tear. He's wearing those yellow glasses.
Telling you, it's a tear of joy. Job well done, Hammer. Okay, Mr. Burns.
Shannon Leichner takes the lead with a 292 plus. How do you feel about that? It looked good from our standpoint.
I felt real good about that pull. It was really good.
How about the driving of it? I mean, was it pretty stable, or did you have to kind of fight it?
Oh, it was pretty good. I got down about 200 foot, and I had to correct it just a little bit. It was going a little bit to the right, and I had to get on a little bit to correct it. But, oh, no, I thought that was a pretty good pass. It felt good.
So are you a quick learner, or is this going to take a while to actually start winning it full time in this?
Oh, on this vehicle, it's kind of different. I'm used to the T-bucket. I can't feel this hook near as good as our other truck, but it's coming on. I'd like to say hi to my grandmother who's fighting cancer at home.
All right, Grandma, hello. Father Bill helping out here, and Shannon, the new leader in the two-wheel drive.
He sure is. In this racetrack, it is changing a bit as some of the water is starting to come up and to the surface, which is making for, a little kind of a better biting racetrack, but it's really going to take some power to top Shannon's 292.9 foot effort here in the two-wheel drive trucks. But got a lot of great guys still to come. Hope you're having as much fun here at Tomah as we are. Be right back. In Tomah, the hammer. Where's the hammer? He's not on the sled seat. Dave, is he left? Is he mad?
No, actually, he's in pretty good spirits, and he's a pretty nice guy. And Steve, he says that you gave him the nickname Hammer. Is that right?
That is true.
Well, here we have it right here. Hammer, right now, how are you feeling about the sled in the two-wheel drive class?
It's pretty decent right now. I'm a little bit heavy. Maybe if I could have moved the weight back, I would have. But the track's getting better. The mod's had it pretty dug up. She's packing down now, and I don't think the trucks are getting any better, but the track is just coming around a little bit better.
So if you're stopping them a little bit too short, why does that disappoint you, Jimmy?
Well, I always like to see a couple get out 300 feet. That's exciting for the people and exciting for the crowd, and that's my job.
Now, do you have a $20 bill, Jimmy, that you'll sign and give to me perhaps tonight?
I don't think so.
He's saying no, guys, with sort of a knowing laugh. You going to clue me in on this?
Yeah, well, he likes to give money away that he finds on the street. Unfortunately, he doesn't find a lot of it, so there's much opportunity to do this. But we have found Stan Shelton of Ambermore, North Carolina, in a beautiful truck called the Sawmill Express. And this is one of those big 567-inch Heath Black Hemis. Where you used to run, Dante. Won a national event in NHRA with a Heath Black Hemi.
Yes, I did. Those are good engines, good power plants.
You betcha.
He's been the United Pullers of Carolina two-wheel drive champion in '97. He's big in North Carolina. Let's see what he can do over here in Wisconsin.
Been pulling for about 8 years, and I really like the look of his equipment. Everything that can be anodized or chromed or powder-coated. The helmet. I mean, just a good-looking operation.
A lot of these guys take real good care of their equipment. There's no question about that.
Ford truck, Chrysler Hemi powered.
It's a good-looking vehicle, isn't it? Look at that.
Now, speaking of Chrysler, it was nice to see the Chrysler Corporation involved with the Rodland Knox machine.
Great.
She is part of Team Mopar now.
Yeah.
Lou Patain covering yet another base.
They're great people, and as you know, I had them when I was racing Top Fuel, and they're great company to be involved with.
All right, Jimmy the Hammer Lutke is waiting for Stan Shelton with an evil look on his mustached face.
He's licking his chops.
Yeah, he didn't like what happened with Shannon. Didn't like that a bit.
He can say what he wants.
Yeah, he might get it again right here.
But he cannot change that sled, understand?
No.
Once the class has started.
Yeah, but he can move his weight around and add to it just a little bit.
A little body English.
Yeah.
There's an interested fan. Who's that?
I think that's his wife, Amy.
Is that his wife?
Get it up on top.
Well,
might be 290 there. I'll tell you, pretty close.
He came up here to show the boys in Wisconsin what the boys from North Carolina can do.
I did. That is really an excellent pull for Stan Shelton in the Sawmill Express, based on his past history and results. That is really a great effort for the Ford truck.
I love the sound of that engine.
Tell us about it.
You can't beat a Hemi. Look at this. He's dropping a little cylinder there, but he cleans up for him. Now he gets the load on there and cleans up real good, gets the tires up in the air. Good straight pull going here. Good traction. Oh, look at that tire spin. He's running a little bit more air pressure there. It's not buckling up as much.
No, about 7 pounds. So that's where the Hammer got him.
293.6.
Whoa,
we got a new leader.
There you go.
Boy from North Carolina. There he is.
Let's go down to Dave Burns. He's got to be one happy young man. Dave, he came a long ways.
Oh, and last year, remember, Steve, he broke after he came all the way from North Carolina. Stand a little better outcome this time. How does a 293.6 feel?
It feels real good. Against this competition, it's really hard to make a good pass. We're real tickled with the pass. We just hope we can stay in that top three so we can come back for the pull-off. We don't think our sponsor, Cope Lumber Company, without their financial support, we wouldn't be able to be here.
What do you think about sticking with it? Do you think you can hold at that time, at that length?
It's going to be really tough. You got 3 trucks back there are tremendously tough, and it looks like we're kind of building a road there. It really looks like. So if we can hang on to that 3rd spot and come out for the pull-off, we'll be real tickled to death.
And in fact, Jimmy Lutke said the same thing about the track guys. It's getting better because now the 2-wheel drives, which are lighter, are actually packing it down, making it better.
Well, he's not a shoe-in for the pull-off because we have 3 great trucks remaining, including Roger Simon there of Dyersville, Alabama. And there they are, just these girls. You'll have to come back for this.
Hey, darling.
What a tremendous crowd on hand for the 23rd annual Dairyland Super Pool. Steve Evans with Dan Pastorini, Dusty Rhodes, and Dave Burns having a wonderful time. And up next, there's only 3 left in this class before the pull-off. This is Roger Simon out of Dyersville, Iowa, and that is the Dodge Dakota called Simon Says.
Simon Says, and he's kind of one of the top dogs in the heat here. He's a strong runner. He's Grand National 2-wheel drive champion in 93 and 97.
And you know, like every major motorsport, the demands of competition life on the road, competitive life on the road, force these drivers to operate out of a state-of-the-art trailer that serve as a combination garage, office, and home away from home. Now, earlier, Roger Simon let us take a good look inside his trailer to see just how tough his life on the road really is. I mean, miserable.
This is our pull-in trailer. We carry our 3 pull-in trucks in here. We carry our sport vehicle. We got a shop inside. We just got to get by what we got because it's pretty crowded. We live in it for 30 weeks out of the year, so you can see really how crowded it is. Look inside.
Oh, Pastor.
Well, it's not much, but it's our home away from home.
It looks like your old rig.
Yeah, right.
Outside.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's one of the better trailers I've ever seen.
Without a doubt it is.
Man. You know, this,
I'd never come out.
you know, the guys will tell me that this may be what they call a draw track. The later the pill you draw, the better you may run because the track is improving.
Roger says that he's quoted as saying, if I beat Dan Walsh, I'll win the championship. He will be our major obstacle this year. Dan Walsh, those Walsh family people have a lot of
They're hard to
respect
beat
around here, don't they?
They sure do. They're hard to beat. You're talking about the track as it wears on.
Yep.
Reminds me, you know, relaying back to an old pair of boots when you buy them new. Sometimes they're hard to walk around in. But then when you get them broke in, they fit like a glove. I think maybe that might, for the layman out there, be what this track is doing right here. Like an old pair of boots, feeling good on your feet.
Look at this. He has moved the sled to the left boundary line. The first pro to do that.
Who has?
Simon Says.
He sure has. Well, you know, there's been a lot of trucks that have moved real hard to the right at the end of the run, so maybe he knows something better than everybody else.
It is so important to watch the competition in front of you and see where they hook and how they do and what kind of grooves they put into the racetrack. And if you're back working on your track, you send somebody if you trust to do just that.
He's moved over completely 1 full width.
Yep.
1 full width.
1 full width. You understand that?
Moved over to the right.
Like, well, maybe
there you go. Here you go.
Is that Hemi, that 572 inch Hemi? That's a winner.
Yeah.
And
look at Lutke. He's hot. Oh, wait, he's kind of cheering for the guy.
And Simon Says we may have a new leader.
Simon Says 300 feet, maybe?
The width he moved over might have made the difference. Dante, that's a good call.
Simon Says go for it, right? And he went for it.
Certainly
I'll tell you how he went for it. When we see the replay, try to note how early he got after it, man. He rolled out about 10 feet and nailed it.
Here he goes. As you said, he's kind of starting off real easy, not much tire spin. He's got it moving, got good momentum going.
Yeah.
Now he rolls
gets on it.
He got him a full pull out of that, too.
Full pull. Touchdown.
302.3 feet.
Wow.
Best pull of the night. That's a good one. Those Hemis can make some power, boys. I'm telling you. They're tough to beat. Let's see Mr. Lutke here. Is he going to be disappointed or is he going to kind of cheer? He kind of cheered the guy on. That's a good sportsmanship. Hey, David, what do you got down there for us?
Yeah.
Well, a happy Roger Simon. I would think, Roger, after a full pull 302, way to go.
Yeah, it was a good pull, and I think I can come in a pull off and do a little bit better. And the truck really ran good first pass on this new blower. We changed some fuel system. Steve did today. He's our mechanic, so I think it's going to be a good pull.
Starting on the right, a good call then, eh?
Yeah, it was a good call. We moved it a couple foot over from the last guy, and I think that helped a little bit.
All right, Roger Simon, he kept the front end down, guys, and his foot in the pedal.
A great run.
And has an edge of 9 feet.
Over the other two drivers going into the pull-off. Stay with us. When we come back, you'll see Jesse Petro, just 17 years old. We saw his dad in the Unlimiteds. Before we see our next two-wheel drive puller.
Steve, one of the things that we love about motorsports, I know you do, is that it's a family affair. Jesse Petro getting ready to run, and his dad, Randy, standing by, the coach, probably the mechanic. How much do you make Jesse work on his own truck here?
He works quite a bit on it there. He helps do a lot of the wrenching and everything, but I do most of the fine tuning. It comes right down to it. We just been tuning on this new truck here, so we'll hope it runs real good tonight.
Randy, what's the most natural thing that Jesse's doing right out of the box at age 17?
Well, I think he's grown up around this sport, and I think he's watched Dad run a lot, so I think he's doing real good. I mean, the last 2 weekends we've been a couple pulls, and he's won both of them, and he's doing a real good job of driving.
I'd say he's learning a lot. Is it the watching that's helped him the most, the keeping his eye on you all these years, you think?
Yeah, I think just being around the sport so much, he's having a little problem with the gears and stuff a little bit, but I think he'll be all right.
All right, Jesse Petro getting ready to run and learning a ton, obviously, from Dad.
He is indeed. He'll be a senior when he goes back to school in the fall. T-Bucket Ford Roadster, man. We've seen every kind of combination you can imagine in the body world. Another one of those big Fontana motors. And if he's won the last two events, he's got to be a favorite, I would say, to make the pull-off.
This is only his 4th time driving.
You're kidding.
Tonight. No.
Really?
The kid's a natural.
Yeah.
Let's go back down to Dave Burns. Busy boy, Dave.
Yeah,
well, you know, Jesse is getting ready to run, guys, but someone he's going to have to pass on his way by is competition director Larry Richwine. Now, Larry is normally pretty tough on Jesse as a technical inspector and that kind of thing, but Jesse's dating his daughter, Kim. How tough are you on Jesse as the father of Kim?
On the track, it's the same as everybody else, but, when he calls some nights, pretty tough, I think. Pretty tough.
Now, wait a minute. You grew up around him, or he grew up around you in this sport. Jesse, a pretty good kid?
He's a real good kid. He's a tough competitor, and he's won like 2 of his first 3 hooks, so I hope he does well tonight.
Now, one of the bad things, though, is that your daughter, Kim, is such a stylist that the high schools are in 2 totally different cities, and you had to buy 2 prom dresses, didn't you?
Yeah, I bought 2 prom dresses for a prom, one Friday night, one Saturday night, and it was 240 miles away. He gets away with 1 tux. I buy 2 dresses and probably shoes.
That's right. Jesse, the racer, the economist, he only had to rent 1 tux, guys.
I bet you Jesse can spell curfew. Here we go. Let's spin that big old blower. Prime it with a little gasoline. It's
prime it and
alcohol
start it up.
in the tank.
Those Enderley injectors.
Yep.
Kicker. Get the mouse going.
Jesse's got his dad, his girl.
He's got
his girl's daddy here. So he better stay right.
And you know what? He looks pretty relaxed for,
yeah, he does.
Kid with all the fanfare going on and all the pressure on him.
Well, national TV, a huge crowd.
Yeah.
His family,
4th
his friends,
time
his girlfriend.
4th time in the box,
His girlfriend's daddy.
Who's mad about having to buy 2 prom dresses?
Yeah. Here we go. Going to back in and hook it up.
That's a good looking
He's got to
rig.
pull the beat, though, I guarantee you.
Oh, man.
Wow.
But, all he has to do, really, is go better than 292.9 to get into the pull-off.
Yep.
Correct?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
292.9, you're right.
And Shannon's on the bump there.
Shannon.
Yeah, we know Roger, though. I mean, 302 is a big-time pull for him.
He's going to line up, I believe, in the same tracks that Roger Simon laid down.
That's true. And our friend Lutke, the hammer, he doesn't care how old or young you are. He's going to try to hurt you.
He'd try to stop his grandma at half track.
I guarantee you. That nice guy stuff in that tape. Come on, give me a break. He got a publicist now. He got a publicist this year. You know that? You made him famous.
I want some royalties.
I think you should.
And there's Kim looking on, his
pretty
16-year-old
little
girlfriend, daughter of NTPA's competition director.
Nice shot, guys. There you go. That's what it's all about right here. I'm telling you, families, kids off the street doing something constructive, enjoying life. That's what America's all about right here as we head towards the 4th of July. I guarantee you.
Here you go.
Running right on the tracks.
Hook it up.
Roger Simon laid down 302 feet.
Exactly.
Man, he looks cool, guys. I'm telling you. This kid might be right. Look at him. He's been to a big track before. He knows what this looks at.
Oh, man. Sneezed the blower. He might have made the pull-up, and it sneezed the blower.
Oh, man.
He'd have made it.
And Kim's running down there to make sure he's okay.
Of course.
When it comes to the blower restraint straps and all the good things, the NTPA is pretty strict on this as Kim goes down there to stand by her man.
Isn't young love just wonderful? Isn't it just
I don't know, I
wonderful?
forgot.
Look at here. Look at here. I remember when I had a girlfriend like that once.
That was 6 years ago, wasn't it?
When I was 16. No.
I tell you,
Got one now.
he had a shot at making the pull-up.
Yeah,
not busting Roger Simon's 302.
Yeah, take a look here when he got off the mark and looked pretty smooth right here, guys.
He was strong. He's got a good weight transfer.
Yeah, he was hooked, big time.
Good bite right there. Pretty straight run.
Maybe leaned out a little bit, Dan, and just sneezed that blower.
Yeah, it got a little bit too bright down there. There were some flames coming out.
Watch your hammer here now.
The hammer's head might hit the dashboard.
Yeah,
here.
he's liable to come forward.
Sled when that blower
He's going to come right out of your TV. He's going to come right out of your TV set. Watch it.
Whoa,
Oh, here he comes.
See?
He comes. Oh.
Let's go down to David Burns and see what he's got for us. David?
All right, well, Jesse and Kim are standing by here, and Jesse's mom, Kathy's driving the truck away. So, Jesse, tell us about it. Did you have any warning at all that it was going to go?
No, it was making a nice straight pass, and then all of a sudden it just popped. So I don't know if it probably went lean. We was leaning on it pretty hard to try to make a good pass, but oh well, that happens.
You kind of angled from left to right. Was that the plan to begin with?
Yeah, we had seen some of the guys at the beginning of the class was going left, and then some of the guys towards the end of the class was going right. So we kind of made it so it would go in the middle.
All right, Kim, now when he doesn't make it like this, is he in big trouble with you?
No, I'm just glad to see him go down the track. I'm here to watch him and enjoy what he does.
How good looking was his tux?
It was a nice one.
How good looking were her dresses?
Very nice. She looked wonderful.
All right. Hey, I guess it must have been a great prom, guys. Proms, excuse me, plural.
Couple of great Middle America kids.
Yes,
huh?
sir,
Don't you
buddy.
love it?
Yes, that's what it's all about, just like I said.
We've only got one more two-wheel drive truck that can bust into the pull-off, and that is Dan Walsh, the pretty green machine. We'll see him when we come back.
For that big special coming up next Friday night. Green Team Finals.
That's going to be a big deal.
Big deal. 2 hours, going to be tough. Right here.
Am I still coming?
You?
Yeah, do I get to go? You know, a couple weeks ago you said I could go.
As far as I'm concerned, you go with me.
Oh, okay, good.
All right, you see the blower belt turning in the safety guard on the motor of Dan Walsh. The Irish Challenger 96 Ford F-150 truck, the big Arius motor. The guy has done a lot of winning, including 97 right here at Tomah.
And he's currently #1 in points right now.
And he's moving over even further on the pulling surface.
I talked to him before tonight's festivities started, and I tell you, I really like this guy. Love this truck right here. Got a good shot. Going to get it done.
Let's check. David, what you got?
All right, the Walsh clan, they are down here, and they are getting ready to go here. They're cheering for both Dave and Dan. Now, let's kind of hear it, folks. Dan's getting ready to go. Dan's getting ready to go here. Is Dan the better driver? Let's ask his dad. Is Dan the better driver of the two? Is Dan the better driver?
It's a tie. It's a tie between Dave and Dan. It's a tie.
Yeah, that's what a father would say, I think. What do you think? Is Dan the better driver or Dave? Yeah. Dan's wife, Lisa, and Dave's wife, Mary, you know, they all think that their guy's the better driver. And Mary's right down here with all the kids. So, I don't know, guys. Maybe the more in the flock, the better the driver?
I don't know, but he's got it for the 300-foot full pull. Just a little bit short. He got kind of a slow start, a good middle, and the hammer got him. We're going to tell you.
Good straight run, though, but it just seemed to be a little bit down on power. Got the slow start, like you said, and he just couldn't quite get the momentum going out there.
What a beautiful shade of green.
I still think he might have gotten into the pull-off here, though. Let's take another look at it.
He might be in the 280s.
Wheels are still down.
289.1, guys. 289.1.
No, that's not going to cut it.
No.
That won't get him in the pull-off, huh?
No, our pull-off is going to be Roger Simon, Stan Shelton, and Shannon Leichner.
Well, the butterflies are wide open on that Enderley injector, but unfortunately it never really got completely hooked, and the Hammer almost went to sleep. He knew he had this one fried.
Yep, he's got him right there.
Wake up, Hammer.
Yeah, he's bucking the old horse there. Well, that's going to give the rest of the field a chance to catch up on Dave Walsh for the points here, or Dan Walsh for the points. So, you know, you can't win them all, as they say.
Watch this.
He looks like he's a little blow by. A ring there, huh?
Over.
Dave Burns.
Well, Dan Walsh is standing by, guys. And Dan, your wife Lisa said you were the better driver, but your dad said it was a tie between you and Dave. How did you feel about that run?
Well, it was good. I came out of the hole just a little bit late. I don't know if I'm into the pull-off. If we are, what I got to do is I got to take some fuel away from the motor and come out harder.
Okay, he's going to regroup, guys, and come back.
Well, he's not going to have to worry about coming
not
back.
Tonight.
Unfortunately. Maybe. Well, there is 2 more days of this pull, by the way. If you're in the central Wisconsin area, you got to get over and check it out. There's a Hammer. He's going to work on that sled because the pull-off is coming up in the 2-wheel drive class. He's going to stop them in their tracks. If you want to experience the power of NTPA pulling on the internet, log on to the NTPA website, ntpapull.com. There you'll find event results, point standings, upcoming event schedules, profiles of your favorite pullers, and much, much more. So check it out, ntpapull.com. Let's check in with Dave Burns.
Steve, Dan, Dusty, I know you want to know what Jimmy Lutke changed for the pull-off here. I mean, he must have done something to try to stop these guys. Jimmy, what did you change?
I didn't really change anything because I had about 10 foot of track left on most of the trucks, and Roger was out the end a couple feet, and I got the 310, the floating finish to work in, so I feel pretty confident I can handle it.
Now, if they worked on their trucks, you think you can still get them?
Oh, yeah. I think they didn't have that much left tonight.
Not a problem, guys. Not a problem.
Kind of like Dusty Rhodes.
I'll tell you what, these 2 guys that we just were talking to, my man Dave Burns kind of remind me of Burns and Allen. I mean, they got a lot of stick going here tonight. Speaking of stick, right up here, it's what it's all about. The American Dream Team girls. We are talking about next Friday night. We will have the finals for the Dream Team. Contenders are here tonight. And one thing that I've noticed as you girls have moved through the audience, right or wrong, yes or no, yeah or nay, is everybody here loves being out in the open and watching a full pull. The girls are learning about full pulls tonight. Y'all need to stay away from some of them ugly guys, though. You know what I mean? Dust, I'm telling you. Stancy, Crystal, with Kim. Yeah, my girls. Dream Team contenders everywhere. Steve Burns, what do you think? Burns and Allen. Hey, Steve.
Dave, take it, buddy.
Dave.
Burns, I'm looking for Allen, but I'm not seeing him down here. Hey, we're getting ready for the pull-off. And Shannon Leichner is getting ready now. Had a little time to work on the truck. Did you change anything?
Didn't change a thing.
Now, Jimmy didn't change anything on the sled either, so how's that going to work?
Big baby.
Just hope we go straight and don't have to correct it with a brake this time.
All right, Mr. Shelton, what about you? Nothing changed on the sled. Did you fix the truck to do anything different?
Nothing changed. We're going to change our hole approach a little bit. We had a little too much blowback coming out of the hole, so we took a little bit of fuel away from it. We hope it'll help us.
All right, and Roger Simon, driver of the Simon says, I hope you win tonight, but what did you change on your truck?
I never changed nothing. I thought I laid a perfect rundown. If I can repeat it, I think it might be good enough.
All right, Roger Simon, these are the 3 guys that you're going to see in the pull-off coming right up.
Well, the reason they didn't change anything is they were all over watching the Hammer. Everybody else is watching the Dream Girls. They were watching the Hammer when he didn't change the sled. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Stay with us. We'll be back for the 2-wheel drive pull-off. And I mean, there is a lot of folks in here on a Friday night.
This
and they
place
are having
is
one great
jam-packed, isn't it?
Yeah,
This is the
what a-
best crowd we've seen.
What a great time, too.
Sensational.
Really.
Good people.
Yeah, great pulling going on. I mean, just a great time to be out. Great time of the year, summertime, Wisconsin.
Now, 3 distinctly different appearing 2-wheel drive pulling vehicles.
We got the Willys Dirt Slinger, the Jeep. Yep, 572 cubic inches of Arius engine blown with a 1471 high helix SCX blower.
You know,
all that
everybody
stuff.
said they really didn't change much, but if they didn't, then how are they going to catch Roger Simon, who's about 13 feet ahead of them?
The only thing they can change is a little bit in the fuel system and maybe a little bit in the counterweight, and that's about it. He's setting the sled way over to the right again, Steve. Look at that.
Yep.
They're all going that right groove. Track seems to be set up there. Of course, that's where most of the trucks have pulled in the last few events.
Getting set. They steer these two-wheel drive machines just like the Unlimiteds. When the wheels are off the ground, you use the independent rear brakes, but the more you're on that brakes, the more you're slowing yourself down. You want to set it up where you can fly it like an airplane and not have to brake it till it lands. Ah, yes. That's his wife, Ann.
Yeah. Here we go.
That is a monster pull. Straight monster.
Pull. Nice job.
I think he got a little bit over the 300 mark there, didn't he?
You think so?
Appears to be.
Just floated that baby.
Yeah, he did.
Just what we were talking about. If you can stay off the brakes, the longer the pull you're going to get.
He let it eat that time. He just let her run.
Right?
Comes off real slow.
Full pull. I heard an announcer do that one time in Bowling Green, Ohio. But this was a full pull, 300 feet.
Hit it right on the head, Dante.
Yeah, well, he a little bit over, isn't it? 300.5 feet.
Yep.
We're getting down to the nitty gritties here with the
3.5.
Look at that nice straight pull. I mean, he did not veer at all. Not at all. Just at the end there when he started digging it. There's our buddy, the Hammers. Is he happy? Sad? What?
Well, he said once in a while, you know, just for the fans, he likes to put one out the back
Oh, there
door.
he goes. Look at he cheered him on.
Yeah,
He's getting a softer heart this year.
Hey, David Burns.
Well, Shannon is sitting right here, and I said he wasn't getting too excited about it, but you told me you were hot. Is it hot out there?
It's warm in here.
Warm where you were driving. 300 feet, 6 inches. You're going to need that extra 6 inches, do you think?
How far did I go?
306 inches.
Oh, that's not too bad. I'll take that any day.
All right, he's going to stick with it, guys. A pretty happy Shannon Leischner.
And a pretty smart Shannon Leister. They
Yeah.
put more weight on that truck, still within the maximum, but more weight on it, and it went further, man.
Yes.
Just more grip.
Just a little bit more grip, a little
all
bit more
about
horsepower, a little bit different changes. There's where they put the weight right there in that little box.
Yep.
Up next, we got Stan Shelton. Marley, North Carolina.
Marley, is that how you say that?
Yeah.
I was hoping you didn't catch me.
Albert Marley.
You got a Southern boy over here. So
Yeah.
You wrestled it.
North Carolina. I've been in every town in North Carolina you can name. I've been in his town. Altamar. That's what she said. Where's she from?
Well, Stan Shelton's first pull was 293.6 feet. He's going to need to go 7.5 feet more.
I'll tell you what, though, he has got a big ally under the hood of that truck. It's a giant Brian Knox motor. Brado Knox's son is also a crew chief on that.
That's right.
And has a business of building tractor pull equipment. And this is one of his bullets, and he is a genius. Genius.
Yes, he
in
is.
this form of motorsports.
567 cubic inch Keith Black Hemi. And we know what Keith Black Hemis can do.
Yep.
Lots of power.
Trying to get it to the pay window right here.
Well, there's our first runner
That's
there. Shannon Leischner. A little interested spectator, and here's the interested spectator of all. Right,
a lot of
here.
actors in this play, isn't
I'm
there?
telling you.
The hammer.
We got a little soap opera.
The hammer's going to get here we go. Not quite there.
Oh, close, though.
Yeah,
real
really
close.
No, not quite there, boy.
You know, I think he hit it off the line just a little too hard. Just a little too soon.
Yeah, a little bit.
They safely unhook our second pull-off contestant. Just one more to go.
See what happens there. Yeah, you're right. He's got too much wheel spin right there, which, you know, if you don't get that momentum, that initial momentum going, it just kind of, it's like burning and smoking the tires in drag racing. Steve.
Exactly.
Same thing.
It never gets hooked up.
Nope.
Only unlike a drag racing where you can pedal the thing, that's tough to do here. Yep, you lose that momentum completely, lose the wheel speed. 295.1, second place.
Almost like spinning and setting steel.
Well, that was a better pull than his first one.
Yeah,
but, not that much. David, you got our boy down there. What's up?
That's right. Shannon's still leading. You got him by about 5.5 feet. Did you see anything there in Stan's run that you think put him back?
Didn't have enough power for the gear, it looked like. I don't know. He had a pretty darn good run, I thought.
All right, what about holding off Roger Simon in the Simon Says? You think the 306 inches will hold?
It's going to be awfully hard.
All right, he's going to stay right here, right at the end of the run, guys, looking straight back on the Simon Says.
He's a realist.
Yes, he is.
I agree with him. It's going to be awfully hard.
I don't know, but Roger seemed to be pretty confident in the pull-off.
And that's him, Roger Simon.
Yep.
Whoa.
Wide-eyed.
Okay, can Simon beat 300.5? The consensus
A green girl.
is yes. Let there be light. As always, the great lighting provided for us on Motor Madness comes from our friends at Musco Lighting. Musco, the world-class leader in sports and large area lighting. For more information, call Musco at 1-800-825-6020. Who do you think's lighting Daytona? I'll tell you, if the sun goes out, God's going to call Musco. Personal opinion. Okay, it's time. We've got one more player, the player. Roger Simon is the final two-wheel drive truck in this three-truck pull-off. Down at the far end is Shannon Leister, and I'm sure he's a little concerned. Well, he's very concerned. He told us it's going to be awful tough to stand up to the onslaught of Roger Simon. Dave Burns?
Now, of course, as you said, Steve, Shannon has already told us he thinks Roger's going to be pretty tough. Let's ask his wife, Ann, in situations like this where Shannon's been up against the wall, have you seen him do pretty well in the past?
Oh, yeah. He knows how to compete and stay in there with everybody else. And he's learned from the master, his father, so.
No coaching from you whatsoever?
No, just moral support.
There you go, and that's very important. Bill, what do you think? You've seen Roger run before. You know how tough he is. Can Shannon's run hold?
It can. He'll be right there. It'll be close. It should be. Shannon made an excellent pull. He couldn't have done anything any better. And we changed a few things, so we'll just have. Roger will do his best, I'm sure. He'll be right there close. It'll be a close one.
You think you'll need these extra 6 inches just beyond full here?
Yes, I do.
All right. It may be that close, guys.
Well, they're totally defenseless now, Dream.
Yeah.
I'd like to just sit there and watch.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what. You got a full pull coming here. I just got a feeling about this man right here. I believe he's going to blow it out the other end of the building right here. Yeah, I believe he will, in spite of this guy that's getting all this airtime right here. This guy here was going to be on the Dream Team, the Hammer, and now he's not going to be on the Dream Team because he gets more airtime than I do, and I don't even know what it does except set up on that deal. And I think if the weight is shifted right, if I believe this, if you add his weight, that other guy would have made a full pull. So the weight might be in the shifting of the body and the butkus with the Hammer. The Hammer got more airtime than I got shower time.
Are you saying he's like
in public, if you will?
I think he's mad at the Hammer. I think you're going to challenge him to a wrestling match.
No,
I think you ought to go after him right now.
Yeah,
I think you're right. He's overexposed.
You know who he's looking for? He's looking for Dave Burns. Him and Dave Burns have done Gone with the Wind tonight down on the track. I'm telling you. Oh, man. My dream girl's up here.
Oh, yeah.
There is a problem with the Roger Simon entry. Apparently a battery problem. I don't know what the NTPA rules would be here, how much time he might have to try to. He's got 3 minutes. I'm told he has 3 minutes from the time they tell him to light it, and he can't to get it started, right? 3 minutes. I got my expert right here on the.
They're backing down the motor there.
You always back that motor down because once you spin it over, you could get raw fuel inside, and you can't compress a liquid.
No,
right?
it's not
fun. Hydraulic, it's called.
It's got to go somewhere.
So they turn the motor in the reverse direction, and I think they're waiting for a battery, I guess.
Well, it takes a lot to crank over those little motors.
This is all these people needed was more pressure. What's going on, man?
Yeah, he was ready. Excitement. He was ready for him to pull, and now he's getting loose, getting a little warm in there. Think about the tension that's going on right here. I'll tell you, Raj is a tense moment going on right here. How much time we got left? Winding it down here.
Get a little vapor lock, maybe.
It's hard to say. Burns is running over there right now. Dave Burns is going to sleep.
Of course he is.
Dave.
We'll check in with Roger here. Roger, what is the problem right now?
The starter went out of it, and we got another backup starter. We'll put it on, start it in front of the motor, and we'll make the pull.
Under NTPA rules, are you going to have enough time to get that done?
Well, we got 3 minutes, and we're okay yet.
Okay, and your crew working on here, describe exactly what they're doing. Do they have to unbolt or just sort of unplug?
They just got to unplug it and hook another one up.
Okay, they're going to go after it, guys, right now, getting the starter replaced on the Simon Says.
You know, this is not the easiest thing in the world to do. You have a backup starter. He's finally got it hooked up, but I've had that problem before. We used the backup starter, and the bolts on the starter were different than the starter we used all the time, and it wouldn't fit and couldn't get the thing started. Here we go. Kick it over. Come on, boys. Prime it up. That's it.
Is he going to pull it?
He's got it. He'll start.
There you go.
Here we go.
He made it. 2 minutes.
Fire in the hole.
2 minutes and 58 seconds. All right. We come in just in time.
Average distance in a pull-off. Look at that, 298.2 feet. Well, I got a feeling, boys, this is going to be inches. The decision is going to be decided in inches.
Well, he almost already lost it by a couple of seconds, not getting his spare starter up there.
We have a little suspense here. It's going to be a suspenseful pull. I think he's going to duplicate his pull. And I bet, I don't know, whoever wins is going to be like 1 or 2 inches.
Now, I'm telling you, Roger's going to pull it all the way out the other end.
Out the gate? 88 and out the gate?
88 and out the gate, Simon Says.
There's what he's got to beat right there, 300.5 feet.
Yeah, he's going a good 303.
I'll go higher than that. I'll go 3.7, 3.9.
So 305 is 6 inches. 303 would be what, 4 inches?
I'm glad Shannon and Ann can't hear this conversation.
I know.
It'd be brutal on him.
He's going to take that right groove again. Yeah. Look, he's way over yet. Big old Dodge.
Well, he's in Dodges, Fords, Chevys, various kinds of motors.
We've seen a potpourri of everything tonight.
I love that
Mixtures
word.
of everything.
A potpourri. That's
potpourri.
Right. Of driving styles as well.
Yes.
All ages.
Look at this. Now the lineup right there. I think there's
some serious cash at stake here, understand.
A few dollars. A few butterflies down there in that line. A few butterflies sitting right there in that cockpit, too.
Want to be in that Synergen winner's circle.
Yes, he does. All right, we're hooked.
Here we go.
Here we go, baby.
Here we get a pull here, Rod. Stand on it, baby. Get up on it. Let it sail. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. It's
I don't
close.
think so.
It's close. You can't tell by the body language down there. I don't think it's out the back door, is it?
No.
No.
No, it's not out. I think he's short, a foot or two. There's some people that are
that young man is so
concerned.
the dad's more excited than the kid, right? He wasn't even driving.
Yeah. Let's go down to David and find out here. David?
Well, according to what I'm hearing, Shannon Leichner is the winner. Shannon, fantastic job. That little extra 6 inches, I guess it was just enough, wasn't it?
It must have been. I was really worried about Simon. He's such a good competitor.
You sound pretty happy about this. A little shaken up. You excited?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm got the heart going here a little bit.
Now, how about this for your season then? What kind of confidence does this give you going on in the NTPA the rest of the year?
Gives us a lot of confidence right now. It means a lot to win out here at Tomah. I've never won here before. Dad's pulled here a lot of years, and I don't know if I think he's won here once. It's just a major accomplishment to win at Tomah.
Okay, Ann, now what about this? Were you a little bit nervous down here during that last run, or were you the picture of calmness here?
Oh, I was nervous. I want to see him do well, and he deserves to. So.
How happy are you for him right now?
Very happy. Very happy.
All right, and Bill, we're trying to check. Have you won here at Tomah before?
Yeah, I won once here before and been up in the top, but never in the two-wheel drive. This is quite an honor against the group of trucks that's here. It's just wonderful.
So yeah, assess the competition for Shannon. Put it in perspective for him. How much did he accomplish tonight by winning?
He's pulled against the best in the world in the two-wheel drive class right here tonight and beating Roger. You know they all did their best to win, and he just did a little bit better. The track was perfect the second time around, and of course he improved. We did a couple things different the second time that they probably didn't do.
All right, well, folks, you're looking at one of the #1 pulling families in America today, the Leichners. Let's send it back to home base.
And interesting that Dad usually drives that Jeep and the kid drives the T-Bucket, but this was the winning pool of 300.5, and we're eating crow here at home base. Dan, Dusty, and yours truly, Steve, because all three of us didn't have enough confidence in that kid's pull. Actually, we had too much confidence in Roger's pull.
Well,
but that's the beauty right there.
He's a champion tonight, you know, and as he mentioned earlier, his grandma's not feeling too well, and I'm sure he had a little emotion behind his winning tonight. We'd like to wish her well and hope she gets better soon.
That was maybe the closest thing to a perfect pull of the entire night.
That was a good
in
pull.
Either of the classes that we've seen. Shannon Leister went to the 300.5 feet, and he will soon meet up with Dusty's Dream Girls in the Synergen Winners Circle. We'll be right back for that celebration and the big rig pulling trucks right after this. This huge crowd has enjoyed what we have enjoyed, and that has been two super competitive classes of NTPA tractor pulling. The Unlimiteds make all the noise and roar. The trucks, though, just a lot of finesse driving those. And we got one more, Dusty, that I think you'll get into, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's been a great night, and seen a lot of good pulls, close pulls. Seen a lot of guys that just change lanes. Seen a lot of movement. Seen a lot of weight movement. And I think that's what makes this sport such a great thing to watch, because you never know what's going to happen, who's going to blow up, who's going to get in the right groove, who's going to find the right, the right dirt, as you said earlier. Is it raining? Is it not? It's all come tonight. We've seen it all, and it's just been a great pull here.
And all of this happens in front of the fans in the length of a football field.
Well, and the action has been going real smooth tonight. I mean, we just had one pull after another with no delays, and it's been a good, smooth evening for us.
And what a great night for Shannon Leister and his family. I mean, they have just really cashed in big time.
Yeah, that was
great.
Yeah,
and through the demolition derbies, the monster trucks, and the tractor pulls, tonight we surely have some great contenders for that American Dream team that will be named in its entirety next Friday night on the special right here on TNN. Motor Madness right here at your best. You getting thirsty?
I'm getting real thirsty.
Let's check out the victory stand. Shannon Leister, his wife, Ann, and his dad all in there. This is the Synergen Victory Circle for the Budweiser Dairyland Super Bowl. And that is the president of Synergen presenting that beautiful trophy, and that is Mike Dyson.
And that's the Dream Girls right there, getting on there.
And only one more class, Mike. Hope you got one more trophy, because we have got these unbelievable big rig style